In this video, I will be teaching you how to shape the three most popular shapes in the salon: Almond, Coffin, and Squoval. Reviewing why they're named the way they are will create a visual in your mind to guide you in the shaping process. This is exactly what helped me give pronounced, even shaping to all of my clients. So let's get shaping. Alright, so in this lesson, this one's going to be a short one, we are going to shape three most popular salon shapes, starting off with our Coffin, which is a tapered square, skinny square, a Squoval, which is a squarish kind of with rounded finish there at the edge, and an almond nail, which kind of has a point to it, like an almond, hence. So let's begin. I'm going to use these two nails of mine, and we are going to begin with the Squoval shape. And I'm going to do that here on the red nail. And as you can see, it's kind of already squared, but it's not that Squoval shape. And the Squoval is basically like a square oval nail. So to start, you'll want to grab your nail file, right, and keep it perpendicular to your table so that nail file is straight. And this is an artificial nail, so you could saw back and forth, but if it's a natural nail, then just go one direction. Okay, so you want to make sure that this is really, really straight and it matches the straightness of your cuticle area. So those two, the cuticle area and the tip, are parallel to each other. All right, so remove the dust so you get a clear view here. And then the next step to a Squoval nail, after you've matched the corners of the cuticle area to the corners of the free edge, is to, outline your, what are these called? Lateral sidewalls, the sidewalls of the clients, right? And make them like tracks, like train tracks, very straight, parallel to each other. Okay. Again, this is straight when you first shape it, right? Your nail file, but then you're going to go into a little bit of an angle, and that's about 30 degrees there. And then just again, if it's a natural nail, then one direction, but this is not a natural nail, this is actually an artificial nail, so you could saw back and forth. And you just want to kind of what you do when you give this nail file an angle, you kind of scoot the corners back a little bit so they're not just very forward and pronounced and your client's messing with them. All right, so clear your view here, get rid of the dust so that you can move on to further shaping. And the last thing you would want to do with the Squoval is just to kind of gently retouch those corners if they're still a little pronounced and pointed. But that's pretty much it. That's what a Squoval nail is. So again, if you need to retouch or touch up those corners just a tiny bit, then do so. But you don't want to go too hard here because you might reshape that nail. Alright, so the next shape I will be showing you is how to do a Coffin nail. And basically you can see here that the Coffin's more tapered than your Squoval. And I'm going to show you how to do that Coffin nail that I have on my left hand on this nail here. So take your clippers and go ahead and clip the sides, right, of the nail. It is a good idea to work with the clipper that is straight. Notice mine's a little curved, so I'm going to be very, very mindful and not cut off too much because I don't want to mess this up. Right, so you basically are giving it a general shape with your clipper here. But now you want to use your nail file. And when you use your nail file, unfortunately, to give this nail a pronounced Coffin shape, you do have to saw back and forth significantly. And then also notice that my file, right, like how that blue line of my file is perpendicular to the table. It's very, very straight. So then after you've done your tracks for your Coffin, right, with your nail file straight up, now you want to give your file, right, you're pretty much almost at a like flat, right, 180 degree angle filing in. And your final step of this is to taper the edge. And the best way I found to get Coffin nails to be super, super straight is to turn your file that way. So now it is perpendicular to the nail. Sorry, all these geometry angles and stuff here. All right, so then again, just retouch everything. So again, file straight, then you curve it in under the corners, and then you taper that free edge like so. Okay, clean everything up here, all this dust, so that you have a clear view of what you're doing. And notice you could get a little bit more cleaner edges here. So you're going to go ahead and take an emery board. It's nice and thin, and it allows you to get in there. Your board file is a little too thick, so you actually cannot make that very, very seamless there. That's why you need an emery board. Notice how I turn my emery board. I'm flat 180 degrees, and then I go up to a 90-degree angle. Flat, and then bring it up. Okay. Now the reason why we don't shape with an emery board, because if you notice, my emery board is pretty flexible. It kind of wobbles all over the place. And if you have a wobbly nail file, then you're not going to be able to get a nice, pronounced, clean shape. And Coffin is all about pronounced, clean shape. All right, so just touch up anything that you need to make it clean. But most of your work should have been done with your board file. All right. So that's your coffin shape. And now we're going to look at an almond shape here. Now, almond can be as pointy as you want it, or else rounded at the tip as you prefer, or your client prefers. Now take my coffin nail here, right? And it's so easy to do an almond nail from a coffin nail here. So keep that in mind if you're struggling to maintain balance. Very, very important that the center of that nail matches the center of your bone, or your bone follows that guideline, right? And then you basically just marry the corners. So if you have this coffin type nail, or if you shape your nails like this, you can take your clippers and shape all of your nails like a coffin just with your clippers. And then you can take your board file like I'm doing now and go over this nail to create an almond shaped nail. Because then all of the corners just piece together so easily, so nicely. Very, very easy. So if that helps you, by all means, use that tip there. Remember to match the bone to that center of the nail to make sure that it's nice and straight. And you always, always, always want to address the client's view. Notice how my board file is straight. It's not tilting, it's not at an angle. I'm filing straight because that is just what's going to produce those crisp, pronounced effects, right, and finishes. All right, so just like our coffin, the next step we want to do, notice how they match. You can make it a little more pointy if that's what you want or your client wants. So, but I kind of like to keep it here. It's pretty safe. So now what I want to do is kind of like thin and balance out the free edge a little bit more. And again, use my emery board to get into those grooves, right? Those nail grooves there, because it's kind of hard to get in there with your board file. And then a lot of times you can cut your client too if you use a board file in there. It's definitely happened to me. So just take your emery board and ever so lightly, very gentle, taper here and there and adjust anything else. I like to take my file flat like so at 180 degree and then just thin down that free edge if it's gone a little too thick or anything like that. So emery board is just there to help you clean up things and be very, very gentle without disrupting the nail shape that you've already achieved with your board file. Go ahead and do a wet brush, which is alcohol based, and then you can clean it with a lint-free wipe to apply your color. And that's it. We had a squoval, a coffin nail, and an almond shape nail. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for even more. And head on over to my website, paolaponcenails.com, for free pro tips on lifting and upcoming class information. Now it's time to hand it over to you. Which shape are you eager to start practicing? Almond? Coffin? Let me know below. Until next time.